Hello and welcome to T4201, Hope for Creation. This is a elective, theology elective that you've signed up for. It's the most complicated syllabus I've ever offered for a class. For that reason especially, I thought it might be helpful if I give you a little video ahead of time to talk through it, and then bring any questions you've got to the first day of class, and we can sort it out from that point. I'll give you my excuse up front for why this is such a complicated syllabus. The material, as you know, that we're going to be dealing with in this class is it's theological, but it's also sciencey, scientific. It's cultural, literary. Some of these things I can walk into class and be responsible and for walking you through. Some of them I can't. So I've gotten some help with guests coming, and I've also got assignments that will feed us scientific and cultural information that we can then discuss in class and we can all become responsible for. But one way to put it bluntly, this is a lot. Some of the things that we'll be doing in this class are outside of my wheelhouse, outside of my area of expertise, but I still want us to be able to engage them. So it's a bit of a complicated thesis, bit of a complicated syllabus in that sense. You can see our learning objectives. We're going to try to identify salient features of climate change science. So right up there, you like, well, you don't need your theology professor for that. I'll be a conversation partner with you as we explore those things. And then you'll have some options. And this is another layer of complexity in this syllabus. You'll have options of which assignments you do. It might be composing liturgies. It might be analyzing practices of communities. It might be writing a research paper, and it might be observing and responding to small ecosystems. And it'll be a combination of some of those. More on that in a second. Here you see our primary text. These are really good texts, you all. I have read and or taught from all of these, and I'm excited about what we're going to be learning. We've got some sort of classical theological engagements with ecology. We've got scripture, some of the scriptural engagements with theology. We've got current research, Celia Dean Drummond is a leading researcher in eco-theology with a PhD in, I think, plant biology is what hers is called, and also a PhD in theology. So these are all sorts of people that you're going to be reading that we really want to listen to and be learning from. I'm really excited to learn more from them and share some of these with you. So now the assignments. Everybody does participation. Participation is not just, it's a little, there's more to it than you may be used to in participation grades. It is about preparing, showing up, being in the conversation, doing the reading and all of that. But then it's also going to include a note that you make on Populi of a key takeaway. It's also going to include a poem that you read prior to class and come to class ready to talk about. And it's also going to include watching an hour of a documentary each week. So this is going to be an assignment each week. All of us, me included, we're going to watch at least an hour of science programming of your choice. And we're going to come to class ready to talk about that. That all gets included in that 20% participation grade. Then here come your choices. First one I'm calling the contemplation of hopeful spaces. And in this one, the idea is that somewhere on or near campus, you choose a space and you pay attention to it throughout the semester. You see how it changes. You see what observations do you know. This can be written observations. You can do sketches. You can write a poem about it. But keep paying attention to it and see how you want to record those observations. And then all of you who choose this will take us on a little field trip to your space at some point in the semester and say, here's the space, here's why this is a space of hope for me, and here's what I've been observing there. So this will be fun. Well, we'll sort of use our two legs and walk around a little bit, and hopefully soon it won't be quite so hot, and that will be a little more manageable. Then a liturgical assignment, prayers of the people, collect, and commentary. I want you to compose them. I've got a a video from Professor Jennings about composition of collects and commentaries that we're going to be using just the same way that he teaches it, but here it's going to be particularly for an Earth Day liturgy or some liturgical celebration of care creation. So there's that assignment, that choice, 20%. That will make up 20% of your grade if you choose that one. Also a liturgical assignment would be a creation care sermon and theological commentary. There's a bigger one. This is 40% of your final grade, and you can see there what I'm looking for. In that one, make direct connections to creation care in your sermon, and then write a commentary where you use some text from the class and explain what it was you were trying to get at. Then the one that I call prophetic pragmatism. This comes from the research of Willis Jenkins, who says we're not going to crack climate change by telling, as theologians, we're not going to crack climate change by telling a better story about how God is the creator. What we've got to do is engage with practices that will help change our habits, change our communities, and change our relationship with the environment. And he says the best place to start with that is by seeing what people are already doing. So I'm asking you here to identify communities, religious communities that are already engaged in transformative practices around care creation, and study them, and come and give us a presentation on that. And that will be 40% of your grade. Who are they? What are they doing? I've given you the questions there that I want you to answer. This can be like a slideshow that you give us, where you talk about the observations, you talk about what they're doing, and all of that. And then the final option here is a research paper, standard research paper. You're going to be using text that we have in the class. You can be using outside text as well, where you make a theological claim about some aspect of care creation or eco-theology, and you argue for that claim, and just the way we do a research paper. And if you've done one for me before, probably none of you have done one for me before, but we can talk more about how to do that. But think of this in terms of just a standard course research paper, and I want you to have that option. That's one that appeals to you. Then you see, so that's most of the complexity. And then in what I've tried to give you in the syllabus is a version of what you'll see on Populi, which is, here's what I want you to do before class, here's what we'll do during class, and here's what you do after class. So this will be the rhythm of each week. So week of the 28th, that's what we'll be doing. And you can see I've got a couple short reads for you. I've tried to give you estimate of how long you'll need for the work beforehand. 8 minutes or so is all we need before this first one, along with watching the video that you're watching right now. So the readings that are not listed as Dean Drummond, that's from the book. The readings that are not listed that way will be linked here on Populi. You can see each week I say, read a poem, watch an eco-doc, way at the end of the syllabus, after we do all the fun stuff and make sure that we do all the seminary things that make this whole thing work. We come to, okay, the addenda, eco-documentary suggestions. And there are lots. I want you all to find the ones that you want to watch. I've given you a wide range of choices here. Some of these are very sciencey. Some of these are nature, just engagement with nature, David Attenborough kind of things. So just lots of choices, and your choices can come from beyond this as well. So this will get you started, but watch an hour of something once a week and come ready to talk about it. And I'm giving you a few poetry suggestions as well, along with featured issue of Eco-Theo Review, which is now part of the Eco-Theo Collective. But I think that website, hopefully that website will still get you there. I'll check the link. And then Poetry Foundation has a special collection on ecology featured in this section. So again, choose whatever poem you like. My sense is it doesn't have to be a nature poem, because what I love about good poetry is it invites us to pay attention by seeing how the poet is paying attention to something. And my sense is creation care, hope for creation, is mostly a calling to us to pay attention in particular ways to the creation that we're part of. So that's what the introduction I wanted you to have. I think the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. Should be able to find all the sources you need in here. And I'm looking forward to learning with you all this semester. See you soon.